Hey everyone, welcome to Math Talk. I'm your host, Brian Heisler, and today we're going to start a little series on slope and equations of line. So let's get started. We're going to look at how to find the slope if you're given a graph with 2 points and a line segment. And so it's going to be looking at visually determining the slope. So a couple things you need to know with slope is that slope is also known as rise over run. And the rise is basically, how far up or down do you go, and the run is how far left or right do you go. And so when you're looking at that, keep in mind that if you go up, that's positive. If you go down, that's negative. And then when you're looking at your run, if you go to the right, that's positive, and if you go to the left, that's negative. It's kind of like a number line. So keep that in mind as we look at a couple examples and look at how to find slope. So let's try it. There's 4 different types of slope that you're going to see. There's positive, negative, zero, and undefined. A positive slope is one that when you read it from left to right, it goes up to the right. So you can see that one right here. Your graph goes up to the right. A negative slope is basically just the opposite. When you're looking at it from left to right, it goes down to the right, and that's a negative slope. A slope of 0 is basically a horizontal line or a flat line. The reason it's 0 is because there's no rise. It's just flat, it's 0. And so that's going to look like this one over here. It's just a horizontal line. And then a slope that's undefined is a vertical line up and down. That one has no run, so it's just a straight up and down line. It's undefined. And the reason is because of that is because when you look at your fraction of rise over run, you have 0 on the bottom. And you can never have 0 on the bottom of a fraction. So it's undefined. So let's try and implement these rules with a couple examples. All right, so we have 4 different line segments, different colors, red, purple, green, and black. And we're going to try and determine the slopes of those line segments using a visual method of rise over run. So the red one, let's look at that one first. I'm going to go ahead and go over to the red one. I'm going to start looking at it from left to right. So if I look at the point on the left, I need to figure out how far do I rise, go up or down. And so for that, I'm just going to draw a line 1, 2, 3 down, and 1, 2, 2 to the right. So I went 3 down, which is a negative 3, and then I went 2 to the right, which is positive 2. So my slope is negative 3 over 2. And remember, a negative slope moves down to the right, like that line segment does. All right, let's look at the purple line, which is just close to it. The purple line is a vertical line up and down. And so remember, vertical lines up and down, automatically you want to think undefined. So I'm going to go ahead and write that one down right now. But the reason it's undefined is because if you look at rise over run, the rise, if you start from the bottom, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the run is 0. You don't go anywhere left or right. So it's 5 over 0, which is undefined. All right, if I move over to the green line up on the top right here, it is a flat horizontal line. So my rise is 0. So it's going to be 0 over my run is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So any fraction with 0 on the top is going to be 0. So the slope of this is 0. The one exception to that is if you have 0 over 0, but that's something completely different. Don't worry about that. You're not going to run into those situations on the GED. Last one is our black line here, and we're going to use the rise over run to figure out the slope. I'm going to start my point to the left. I'm going to count up 1, 2. So I'm going to write that. And then I'm going to run to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2 over 5 is a positive number. It's a positive fraction. And we know that it's correct because the line moves up to the right, so it should be positive. So when you're looking at determining slope, I hope this helps you out if you're given 2 points in a segment, just to use the visual method of rise over run. And sometimes it helps to draw it out, but if not, you can just look at it and use your rules. So thanks for watching. Hey, one more thing for all the math talkers out there. You see the red button down there? It's a subscribe button. Click it. Tell all your friends. Right down there, subscribe. Spread the word.